He is so one-dimensional and it is frustrating to watch. I mean, honestly. Welcome back to Tennis Town. I want to talk about Gael One Dimension Monfils. I've been watching him play since he first, burst onto the scene. And my biggest issue with him is that he's too one-dimensional, and I feel as though his game, he's not playing the type of game that actually he should be playing as a super athletic, 6'3", 6'4" player that is, extremely powerful, can generate enormous pace off his ground strokes and his serve. Yet he plays constantly, 3, 4, 5 meters behind the baseline. And it's just so frustrating to watch him lose matches that he shouldn't be losing. He lost to a severely depleted Novak Djokovic. And I know he complained about the heat and that, he felt as though he was at risk, and that, well, he basically admitted that he gave up actually, because he said, what was his quote? He was quoted as saying, got it here, he was quoted as saying, if you have to give up, it's not a shame. You will not see that from Roger Federer, Andy Murray, Rafa Nadal, and the list goes on. But I mean, look, the issue I have with Monfils isn't so much about that. What I wanted to talk about today was just his game style. He's so one-dimensional, and it's just such a shame that as he's losing matches, he sees that he needs to make a change in his game plan, but he doesn't change that game plan. He keeps on going with this, ultra sort of grinding style of play where he's not actually really trying to create something. If you look at the points he plays, okay, if there are balls there to be hit and it's an obvious chance at, potentially finishing the point, all right, then he'll go for it. But aside from that, he literally starts every point with this mindset that he's already defending. So he starts every point in a defensive mindset. He's not trying to create. And I mean, of course, it's always more difficult to create. It's always easier to, stop than to create. But at the same time, when he's getting beaten and playing so far behind the baseline, it allows his opponents who do create points and actually, create winners. It allows those opponents to actually push him around the court because he's always conceding so much court space. And I just don't understand why he's playing like that when he could be playing a much more explosive brand of tennis. I mean, he could be playing... the thing is that he couldn't be playing that way because that's not the way he grew up playing. But had he grown up playing the way that Tsonga plays, for example, then I personally feel as though Monfils would have achieved a lot more in his career to this point. And as I was saying, it's very frustrating just to see him lose matches and not change any of that. So he will keep on playing 3-4 meters behind the baseline, grinding around, super defensive, not looking to really create anything, and just defend, hit heavy from the baseline, and just get hit off the court or just get outplayed. And he would just let that keep going. So he's basically just prepared to grind, and slowly lose each point until he loses the match. And he's done it all his life. And I just feel as though that tier of players above him, in which I'd say are the top 4 players in the world, for example, the big 4, I feel like those players can make adjustments. They either make adjustments, or if they want to impose their game on the opponent, such as Monfils has been trying to do, in the sense I say that because he's never changed his game plan, at least they are able to lift to a higher level. So they may play a bad set, but then the next set they're able to lift their level of play. They've got that mental toughness to really lift, and in that case they can still impose their game on the opponent because they've lifted their level of play. That's different. Whereas Monfils is always just flat, constant, always playing at the same level, always playing the same game plan, and then if he's winning, great, he's going to win this way. But if he loses, he's going to lose this way as well, at a constant. And I don't see that changing. So, anyway, guys, that's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, or if you agree, please let me know in the comments section below. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to support my channel by liking and subscribing. It'll really mean the world. Anyhow, I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a new video. Cheers.